Outcomes in Canvas allow you to do a lot of different things. It can really help you with communicating progress to a parent or a family. They can help you to monitor student growth. It can help you know when it's time for a student to move on to new content. And once completed, they can really speed up the scoring process for assignments and quizzes. So here's how you access that. The first thing you do is you need to navigate to the Outcomes section. So over here on the right side, you would click on Outcomes, which will take you to a page that looks like this one. From here, you're going to create a new outcome. You're going to name this outcome, and we are going to use a very specific naming protocol at Canyon Lake. We are going to name them just like we would the standards. So we're going to say, for example, 4th grade, reading, information, and let's say we're going to do standard 1. If there were substandards with letters, you would add an A or something to that effect. But for this, we're going to just do this one. It's going to help to know what that standard is. So here's from the DOE, standard 4RI1, refer to details and examples in the text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So the friendly name for this, and we're going to actually go ahead and paste our outcome down here. So we're going to call this, let's see, let's call it details from a text. You guys can probably come up with a better name than I can. So then the next thing we need to do is modify the criterion ratings, or the rubric. So we use a 4-point scale. So you're going to click on this little pencil guy here. We're going to change this to a 4 because that's our maximum. Exceeds expectations can probably stay where it is. 3 points is our next one. For meets expectations, we're actually going to want to type in what we have in our rubrics. So, uses 3 details to make an inference. Again, you'll do better than I am on this off the top of my head. So click OK there. And then we need to change this one from 0 points to 2. And we would also probably change this to uses 1 to 2 details. Does not make an inference. Again, the more specific we can be here, the better off we're going to do. And if you have these already created, you can simply copy and paste. You may have to play around with formatting a little bit. Again, we're going to change this to 2 points. And then we need a 1-point column here. So right where it says insert, you click there, and we'll say does not meet expectations. And we're going to add that as a single point. We're going to set the mastery at 3. That means that in order to be at mastery, they need to have done everything in the 3 column. Our calculation method, we want to stay away from the decaying average that penalizes a kid for what they didn't know at the beginning of a unit. We are either going to go with most recent score or number of times. What number of times allows us to do is to set the number of times a student has to demonstrate mastery before we allow them to move on. I'm going to arbitrarily set this at 3 for now, but that would be a discussion for you to have with your colleagues. In the short term, we're probably going to say most recent score, but that's, again, entirely up to you to decide. Once that's in, you go ahead and hit save, and that creates your new outcome.